It's Shady's Babies, and welcome to 10 Reasons Why The Cycle Frontier is Better Than Escape from Tarkov. Now, to preface this, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. However, I'm super excited for The Cycle Frontier because Escape from Tarkov has had this sort of niche micro-genre that it's the only one in. And finally, there's going to be some competition for Escape from Tarkov, and they won't be able to release a single update and add 2 new guns once every 6 months. So with that being said, that means there's going to be some competition and both games are going to be competing and hopefully become better together. So to start off, the first thing that I really enjoy about the Cycle Frontier is that there's no queue times to get into a match. It takes about 5 seconds and then you're in a drop pod, at most 5 seconds. Now there are it's funny, today I'm recording this video on the 4th day of the wipe for me, of the beta. There was a queue to get into the game. However, that didn't impact actually playing it. So that is something to consider. Number 2 is going to be that the game just runs better. And I think visually looks a little better. Tarkov's going for a very real look. However, the Cycle Frontier sort of has its own sort of art style, and I think they did a really good job with it, especially when the storm comes. The storm is awesome. It does impact my game, especially when recording, and in this video I'm going to have in the background, you will see that later on in the video the storm comes and the weather actually drops my FPS quite a fair amount. However, it's still playable and very immersive. Now, the third thing for me is going to be that the daily missions and campaign are actually fairly easy to do. Not in a not in a way where it's like you just get into the match and you're done with it. It's more like I can do it in one run if I focus hard enough. Tarkov, sometimes you can't even do it in one run. Sometimes the weeklies are sometimes insane. And so some of the dailies are actually pretty hard. And what's really cool about the Cycle Frontier is that once you complete a daily, you can do another one. And relative to that, I think the rewards for dailies / jobs in the Cycle Frontier is what they're called. Since you're able to complete it and go to the next one immediately, I think the rewards are actually a little less. But I'd rather do that rather than log in for a daily that's incredibly hard to do versus the Cycle Frontier where it's not so hard and I can do as many as I want. Now, number 4 is going to be that the guns actually feel fun to shoot, and the recoil it doesn't feel as difficult to use as in Tarkov. And I think Tarkov definitely is going for that realistic effect, and on some of the guns I think they've nailed it. On some of the other guns they're going for the balance effect, which is a little, pick one. But the guns in the Cycle Frontier, they're just going for the balance effect. And I think they've done a really good job. The rifles feel like rifles, the SMGs feel like SMGs, shotguns, so on and so forth. They all feel pretty good. And the customization goes with it, really helps out, and it feels like they're actually helping out a fair amount rather than it just being some percentage that doesn't actually really seem to do much all the time. Now, number 5 is going to be that there's no unfair skills that veteran players have over new players. And I'm talking about, perception, recoil control, weapon handling. In Tarkov, it's kind of difficult if you're a newer player when a veteran level 40 can hear you from an extra 15 feet away, 15 meters away. I don't know the exact value, but it's actually unfair for new players. And because of that, you have veterans that can sort of run over the game, and it just it can make it hard at the start for a newer player to get into the game. Now, number 6 is going to be that there's 3 people maximum per team, which in Tarkov you can have up to 5. 5v1 is not nearly as fun as 3v1. It's very rare that you actually run into a 3-man team in the Cycle Frontier, as it is rare to run into a 5-man team in Escape from Tarkov. But just 5 people is it's insane to think about one person being able to take out. Now, you can, if you're a beast, you can wipe out 5 people and upload a clip and, get famous. But 3 people is actually a little more fun. It definitely feels better to take out more, to be outnumbered and to survive. Remember the Alamo. And that's sort of why I do like going against more people. I don't like being incredibly outnumbered and just almost a guaranteed loss. I like having a fighting chance. Next up, at number 7, is going to be the simpler gun customization, which in my opinion can be a little cleaned up. It should be sorted by weapon attachments rather than being one long list. However, it's a lot easier than Tarkov to go, okay, I want to get recoil control on my rifle. What attachment do I need for it? Tarkov has really great customization, but Tarkov has so many options that do the same thing. It's sort of unnecessary, and they once again are going for the real effect, but at the same time it can be kind of annoying to deal with. Now, at number 8 is going to be that there's a different style of evac countering in the Cycle Frontier versus extract camping in Tarkov. In the Cycle Frontier, you don't know where you're going to be leaving evacuating through until you're actually in the match. And for that reason, other players don't know where you're evacing, but they know where evac sites are. In Escape from Tarkov, especially on Shoreline and Interchange, there's a big issue where people can sit at Emercom in the tunnel and just camp there the whole match, kill you, get your loot, and they don't do anything. Now, in the Cycle Frontier, you actually need to move around to get loot. You can sit at one point and hope someone shows up, but the chance of someone showing up is incredibly low. So it's not a very viable strategy. However, if you do see a dropship coming in, you can run over to it and counter it. So that is still an option, and it does get pretty intense at some of the evac points in the game. At number 9 is going to be this awesome end game interaction screen where you can see everyone that you were nearby, anyone that talked to you, anyone that shot you, and anyone that you damaged or killed. And you can see the damage amounts. Sometimes it feels like the numbers on the damage don't really make a whole lot of sense. I think it's partially because of how armor works. But it's still awesome to see, here I was at this point in the game, and I actually was next to someone and didn't even know it. So that's honestly my favorite part of the game overall. And finally, at number 10, the devs actually seem to care what the players think for the Cycle Frontier. When you're leaving the game, it prompts you to fill out a survey. The survey is real short. It asks you a bunch of small questions and then asks for a little feedback. And they put a lot of effort into getting the survey and asking a lot of questions, and it seems like they're going to be using it. So that's all I got for you guys for this video. I would definitely go check out the Cycle Frontier. The beta is going for another 10 days or something until April at some point. I don't know. I actually have no idea when the beta is happening. I just hopped on and was like, let's check it out. And it's a great game, great competition against Escape from Tarkov, and I'm excited to see what the devs come out for the next beta. More videos like this one, comment down below what you would like to see, and not necessarily for the Cycle Frontier, but for other games as well. And also, if you really hate this video, that hurts my feelings, and hit that dislike button. And maybe you like to hurt my feelings and you like the video, so do both, because I don't know. I don't really care about the dislike button. Yeah. Oh well.